Wayan is standing outside of the ICU room, her tears falling down non-stop, while watching him from the door viewport. His almost lifeless body laying there, and doctors trying their best to save him. Her one hand on her mouth, trying her best to stop crying. With her other hand, she touched the viewport glass while crying. She couldn't stand there properly. Her body started shaking. She held the wall for support, then slowly sat down on the floor and hid her face between her palms and started crying. RM is standing there with tears in his eyes. He was watching her every move without saying anything. What can even he do when his own brother in this state? Without saying anything, he left outside while wiping his tears. Why in mine? Please God, don't take him away from me. After so many years, I have found happiness in my life. Please don't take him away. Please. 3 hours later. RM. How is my brother, doctor? Doctor. We had tried our best, Mr. Kim. He is fine, but if he didn't wake up within 2 days, he can go to coma. RM. What? Doctor. Yes, Mr. Kim. Doctor left from there, leaving totally shocked RM and Ryan. RM slowly looked at Ryan, found her standing there like a statue, while tears falling from her eyes. He slowly went close to her. RM, it's okay, Ryan. Be strong and pray for him. Ryan just slowly nodded her head without looking at him. RM sighed and left from there. Ryan wiped her tears and slowly went inside the room. Ryan point of view. When I entered the room, my eyes were closed. I gulped and slowly opened my eyes, directly meeting his laying body on the bed. I couldn't hold back my tears after seeing his figure. I wiped my tears with my shaking hands and took a deep breath. I went close to the bed. I need to be strong. When my eyes fell on his pale face, my tears coming out by their own, I slowly touched his pale face, my eyes roaming all over his body wrapped with white bandage. My eyes fell on his hand. I touched his finger with my shaking hand. I can see still he has dry blood on his one finger. I tightly closed my eyes, letting the tears fall. I slowly bent down and kissed on his finger. I again looked back at his face. He has a bandage on his head. Almost his every part of body is injured. My eyes land on his chest where he got a gunshot. My body again started to shaking, remembering about what doctor said earlier. I slowly sat down on the couch while my teary eyes fixed on his lame figure. Why in mind? You can't leave me, Taeyang, after giving me hope to marry me. You can't leave your Ryan like this, Taeyang. Please come back for your Ryan. I love you, Taeyang. Please come back to me, Taeyang. Don't leave me. Please come back. 2 days later. Taeyang regained his sense yesterday, but is still weak. Now Ryan feeding him lunch, while tears falling from her eyes. Taeyang is just quietly eating without saying anything, and staring at her. Ryan is not looking at him nor even talked with him, just quietly doing her work without saying anything. Taeyang, now stop, Ryan, talk to me. Ryan didn't say anything, just hold the back of his head and make him eat the medicine and drink water. Then she make him lay down on the bed. Ryan started tidying up his clothes while Taeyang sighed and looking at her. Suddenly door revealing opened Zuban and RM. Zuban, Hi Hong, how are you? Taeyang, I am fine. Zuban, see, I have bought chocolates for you. Taeyang took the bag from his hand. Taeyang, thank you so much. Time skip at night. After feeding him his dinner and doing everything, Wayan was about to leave, but he stopped hearing him. Taeyang, Wayan, staring at her backside. Wayan turned around and looked at him. Taeyang, come here. Wayan went close to the bed. Slowly, Taeyang held her hand while looking at her. Taeyang, stay here tonight with me, looking into her eyes. Wayan felt like crying, hearing his sweet tone, but she didn't say anything, just looking down at him. Taeyang slowly moved aside, giving her space beside him. Wayan looked at him with wide eyes. Then finally Wayan talked to him. Wayan, you can get hurt. Taeyang, no, I won't. Then Wayan slowly laid down beside him and he is laying straight. Wayan turned around to his side facing him. Then she slowly hugged his waist without giving any pain. Taeyang looked at her, found her already looking at him with her teary eyes. Taeyang can see she cried in all these days. Her puffy eyes and dark circles under her eyes. She bring her one hand near his lips and softly touched his lips on. Taeyang closed his eyes, feeling her touch. Wayan sat up and took something from the nightstand. Taeyang opened his eyes, found her holding an ointment in her hand. She bent down close to his face and slowly applied the ointment on his lips only. Taeyang was just staring at her without blinking eyes. She looked at him, found him already looking at her. After staring at each other for some moment, she slowly kissed on his forehead. Then again she laid down on the bed and hugged him slowly. Taeyang is now better than before, but still doctor told him to take rest. Today they are going back home. Wayan made him wear his shirt. Now she is buttoning up his shirt. Taeyang is just staring at her. Taeyang every time lied to her whenever it comes to wear his clothes that he can't move his hands properly so that he can see her closely. After completely buttoning up his shirt, then Wayne started combing his hairs, and he is sitting on the bed and hugging her waist while resting his head on her chest. His eyes fell on her chest mole, and he kissed on the mole. Wayne glared at him, which made him chuckle. He again kissed on the mole to tease her. This time Wayne tried to push him, but he hugged her more tightly. Taeyang, first hug me, then I will let you go. Wayne sighed and wrapped his arm around his neck and hugged him. Well, she pressed her cheek on his head, and he hugged her more tightly while resting his head on her chest. Wayne kissed on his head and caressed his hairs. They heard a knock on the door and they broke the hug. RM came inside. RM, can we leave now? Taeyang and Wayne nodded at him, then they left from there. 1 week later. Everyone is waiting for the bride. Today is Taeyang and Wayne's wedding. Suddenly Zuwan shouted and everyone looked at the direction. Zuwan, my Nona is coming. Everyone got mesmerized by her beauty. Wayne is coming while holding Namjoon's hand. Wayne got shy, feeling everyone gaze on her. Zia, oh my god, Ryan, you are looking so gorgeous, flying kiss. Ryan softly smiled at her. Then she looked straight and her eyes fell on her soon-to-be husband, who is smiling while looking at her head to toe, which make her shy. After reaching at the stage, RM gave her hand to Taeyang. Taeyang softly held her hand and kissed the back of her hand. Taeyang, you are looking so beautiful, my love. Ryan smiled at him. Ryan, you too, my love. Time skipped after waiting. Taeyang, we are leaving home. Take care of Zuban. RM, don't worry about him. Taeyang smiled and nodded at him. Josh was about to go with them, but Taeyang stopped him. Taeyang, you don't have to come with us or any guards. Josh, but boss, it can be dangerous. Taeyang, don't worry. Pat his shoulder. Just for today, I want to go alone with my wife. We'll be fine. Josh, as you say, boss. Taeyang smiled and left from there. Taeyang is driving the car while his one hand on the steering and other one holding her hand. Suddenly another car stopped in front of their car, which made Taeyang hurriedly pull the brake and stop the car. Taeyang clenching his jaw due to anger. He could sense something is wrong. He took the gun and looked at Vine, found her already looking at him worriedly. Taeyang, don't come outside, okay? Caressing her cheek. Vine held his hand, telling him not to go outside, but he kissed her hand and went outside. Vine looking at him leaving with her teary eyes. She is not feeling well. She looked inside the car, hoping something for good which can help them. Her eyes fell on his phone, which he left inside the car. She hurriedly grabbed his phone and messaged to Josh. Josh, I am Ryan. Please come fast. One car blocked our way, and Taeyang went outside after locking me inside the car. She looked back at Taeyang, found him talking with someone, his back facing her. She is just praying for their good. Hi Kim, long time no see, my dear brother. Taeyang just laughed at him. Taeyang, finally you showed up, James. James, yes, and you know why did I came here? I came here to kill you. Taeyang, I think you have a death wish like your brother. James was about to punch him, but he is fast enough to move aside and punch James. James' men tried to hurt Taeyang, but he shot on them. Taeyang held his shirt collar and started punching him, but he is just laughing. James, look at your back, Kim. Taeyang stopped beating him and confusedly looked behind him, and his body got froze. This is the first time he is feeling scared. Taeyang, crying. One guy holding knife on her throat while her tears falling non-stop. His hurt edge seeing her tears because of fear, her innocent eyes looking at him scaredly. James got the chance and he hit Taeyang's head from behind. Taeyang lost his balance. He held the back of his head and looked back at James. Taeyang, leave her. James snarled and shot on his leg, and he fell down on the road. James started kicking him on his head and his body. James, you killed my brother for this girl, right? Ryan pointed of view. I saw he shot Taeyang and he fell down on the ground. I couldn't hold myself back, and somehow I pushed that guy who was holding me and ran to Taeyang. Ryan pushed James aside from Taeyang and sat on the ground. while tears falling down non-stop from her eyes. She held his injured head and held him closer to her chest. Taeyang touched her cheek with his bloody hand. Wyan held his hand with her one hand, which is caressing her cheek, while crying. Her white dress turned into red by his blood. She was crying while holding him closer to her chest. But James held her hairs from behind and dragged her backwards from Taeyang. Taeyang, leave her, James. James smashed her on the car and choked her throat. Wyan tried to free herself but couldn't. Taeyang, leave her. I swear I will give you the most worst death. James looked back at Taeyang and threw Wyan on the road. He went close to Taeyang and again kicked on his stomach. Taeyang groaned in pain. James, really? Now see what I will do with your beloved wife. Wyan coughed while blood coming out from her mouth. She looked at Taeyang with her teary eyes. James left Taeyang and started coming close to Wyan. James, leave her, crying plus shouting. James took something in his hand which made Taeyang's eyes widen. Taeyang, no. James hit her head from behind with a big hammer. Her body slowly fell on the ground. Taeyang, Wyan, crying plus shouting. Taeyang's eyes got wide in hearing her voice for the first time, which made him more crying hurriedly. Wyan, Tae, whispers with half-closed eyes. James again hit her, and then finally Wyan fully closed her eyes. Taeyang, Wyan. James laughing like a madman. He went close to Taeyang. James, bye-bye, King. Then he hit Taeyang with the hammer.